Welcome to the Philip Koerper Show. This is Philip Koerper. This is episode 16, July 31st. I've got a great show for you today and really want to talk about weight loss, diet, and exercise. I've just heard something in my show prep about some guy said he just looked at a donut and he gained all this weight and stuff. And so this is something that as a doctor, as a physician, I get many questions about. And so the reason why I want to talk about this is because hashtag we're winning. Donald Trump is up in the polls, 47%. I've got my Trump shirt on today proudly. He is just doing so well. I loved Rudy Giuliani yesterday talking about, hey, there's no collusion, and even if there was collusion, it's not illegal. Alan Dershowitz talked about, you could go up to Vladimir Putin. You go, Donald could have in the election before the election asked him if he had any dirt on HRC. He could have given it to him. That is okay. That is not illegal. Okay. News sources are constantly getting information and dirt on people. They don't care where the information comes from. Okay. Now, if Donald Trump asked Vladimir Putin to break into the DNC server, that is a crime. Okay. That's what Richard Nixon was caught doing, breaking in to the Watergate Hotel where the Democrat committee was. And so anyhow, there's no collusion. Even if there was collusion, it's not a crime. It's not an impeachable offense, whatever. I like that. And we make that argument with global warming. Okay. Are humans changing the climate? I don't know. Some people say we are. Some people say we aren't. Okay. Let's suppose for the sake of argument that we are. There is anthropogenic climate change, that humans are burning our fossil fuels is changing the climate. Okay, well, what can we do about it? Is there much we can do about it? Well, it turns out that even if we stopped burning all fossil fuels today, this very day, the whole world, we're still going to have a lot of these climate changes. And so, what can we do to mitigate this problem if it was a problem? How much is it going to cost? I mean, these are things that we can consider in this debate. I think it's very worthwhile to consider, all aspects of a debate. So anyhow, I think Donald Trump is doing so well with that. This Robert Mueller probe, it looks like it hasn't found anything substantial. These are all just little process crimes that snooped around with our taxes or watched us not slow down enough at a stop sign. I mean, we could all get in trouble somehow, some way. So Robert Mueller doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Mike Pence says President Trump's the most pro-life president we've ever had. They're rebuilding parts of the wall right now. That's one of the big campaign promises. And what the biggest applause line was building the wall for Donald Trump. This is why he got elected president of the United States. And that has been obstructed by the Democrats. For some reason, they're so excited about spending tons of money on many different things, but they don't want a more secure southern border. And along with a merit-based immigration platform. That would be awesome. We're funding the military better. He's been strong on foreign defense. He's been strong on trade. Trade has been very unfair to the United States. Donald Trump is using the threat of tariffs to try to get other countries to lower their tariffs. They have incredible tariffs and restrictions on buying American goods. Yes, we are very rich. We're going to buy lots of things. Buy things from the United States, buy things from all across the world. But these trade practices are not really fair. And Donald Trump is focusing on that. We're doing better with North Korea. They just sent the remains of some of our soldiers who fought in the Korean War. Apparently, they're dismantling some of their nuclear capability. Kim is not threatening to blow up the United States like he was. We've gotten 3 of those prisoners there. So anyhow, it looks like some headway there. Looks like we're being tough with Vladimir Putin. That's very important. And yet Donald is trying to work out some kind of communications with Vladimir and negotiations. We can agree on some things and we can make progress. So that's great. Donald's been really tough against Crimea and Eastern Ukraine. And Russia is meddling and invading and annexing Crimea. Very good. We still have our sanctions in place on Russia on certain things. Very awesome. We've lowered taxes, unemployment's low, stock market's doing well. I tell you, it looks really good. The people that Donald Trump's endorsing, many of them are winning election. The governor down in Georgia, in that primary, the Republican governor won his primary. So anyhow, I just feel like we're winning on so many different fronts. I'm very proud of Donald Trump. I think he's doing very well with 91% of the media being negative against him. I think he's doing a great job. With people like me who support Donald Trump will openly get shamed. When I wear my shirt in liberal areas, some people say F you, F Trump right to my face, even if I'm with one of my children. It's just really incredible. But that's okay. We are not the party of hate. Charlie Kirk tweeted yesterday about how the Democrats unanimously opposed the amendments in the Constitution ending slavery, giving blacks the opportunity to vote, participate in our country. So the Republican, the GOP, we have a long history of doing what's right, not always, but usually. So that's great. So now, with all of that said, I wanted to talk about weight loss, diet, and exercise. I want to just kind of throw a bunch of paint on the wall and just let you know what my thoughts are on this. And really, there are so many myths associated with this. It's really frustrating. A day doesn't go by where I'm not shamed because I eat at McDonald's once or twice a day or whatever. I want to talk about our BMR, basic metabolic rate. This is calculated by using your age, your height, and your weight. And this is like a car just sitting, idling, not going anywhere. That's what our bodies were used. My body, according to my age, height, and weight, requires about 1,500 calories just to do nothing. Really, just so my heart will beat, just so I can breathe, so my brain will function, so I can just sit there and just idle, okay? But of course, when I walk, when I exercise and stuff, I'm going to burn more calories. So I don't have to just eat 1,500 calories a day to maintain my body weight. It's 1,500 calories plus what my activity. This is purely mathematical. You could basically just get a Fitbit, put your age in there, your height and your weight, and then you put do a food log, and then as it measures your exercise, your activity, it's an approximation. That will be how many calories. It will calculate how many calories you've burned and then how many calories you need to hold that weight. If you eat less or exercise more each day, if you're burning more calories than you're consuming, you will lose weight. About 3,500 calories is 1 pound. Okay, this is mathematical. You could eat donuts all day long. Okay, now you do have nutritional needs. We all need fats, we need proteins, we need carbohydrates, and we need essential amino acids and vitamins, but just for basic metabolic use. But that is really it. It's purely mathematical. People's BMRs are not that different. Some people say they have a really slow metabolism and that's why they gain weight. Okay, this is just pure myth. Okay, this is fake news. This is not true. Okay, it's very mathematical. So we make a lot of excuses, and a lot of people talk about what they're eating and how important it is, and when they eat food at night or what. It's irrelevant. It is really scientifically irrelevant. It's really very hard to prove that the time of day you eat or any of this really matters at all. It just doesn't. This is mathematics. This is calories in and calories out. It's very, very simple. It's just like putting gasoline in your car and burning fuel in a car. It's really the exact same principle. So I just wanted to just kind of go over that just because I think there's so much confusion. Now, there are certain people that they eat different foods. They make them feel more full. Okay, and then on a side note, the 8 glasses of water. This is just really, you just should drink when you're thirsty. The best place to go is the DGA, the Dietary Guidelines of America. This is produced by our federal government, and these are recommendations on our diet. These guys have gotten a lot of things messed up. Remember, eggs used to be just really bad for us and really voodoo. Well, a lot of these things have changed. But the dietary guideline of Americans comes out, I think, every 5 years. So I think the 2015 is out. It might come out more frequently. I can't remember. But this is evidence-based research on nutrition. First of all, nutrition is very hard to study. It's hard to prove. You can't just feed one human, donuts and feed someone else chocolate chip cookies and the other one apples and see what happens. It's very hard to do studies like this. Many of these studies are on other animals, laboratory animals. But anyhow, this is a great place to go to just get common sense advice. And basically, you know what they're going to say there, okay? Yes, eating fruits and vegetables is good. Yes, not eating too much fat is good in your diet. Having protein is good, and you need some carbohydrates. Okay, there's no talk about processed or non-processed food in there. There's no talk of organic or non-organic food. There's no talk in there of tons of supplements. They discourage alcohol use, but alcohol use is so prevalent in commonplace in the United States that they're not going to discourage it. They don't encourage you to. I think they say in there, if you don't drink alcohol, that's awesome. Now, if you are drinking alcohol, drink in moderation. But alcohol really is a poison, and causes cancer. So anyhow, of course, they're going to advise against using tobacco, these known carcinogens and things that are unhealthy for us. So anyhow, the DGA is a great place to go for just some common sense ideas. I think you and me already understand that. And yet then this talk of fast food or McDonald's, you can't go there if you want to lose weight. I mean, this is really malarkey. Okay, there are good foods and everywhere, and just you don't want to eat too many fats. But you can have a hamburger, you can have French fries, you can have a salad. You could get a lot of nutrition there. Where the people have struggle, in my experience, is that they just overeat. They don't just eat one little hamburger, they'll eat two. Okay, they'll eat 2 orders of fries, or they binge eat. And believe me, I can binge. I can eat a lot of food, and I like to run, and no matter, I mean, I can run. I've run a marathon, and I think I only burn, I forgot what a marathon is, 20,000 calories or something. But I can put away a few thousand calories really easy, and it will take me hours to run all those calories off. So anyhow, it's a lot easier to put on calories into our bodies than to burn them. Burning calories takes a lot of time and energy and hard work, and most of us don't like that. We'd rather sit around. I'm the same way. So there is those myths. I just really wanted to address a lot of those myths about weight loss. I mean, it's really a very mathematical thing. I get asked all kinds of questions about weight loss and different ways of doing it. And I really just try to sum up with encourage people to get an activity monitor and just do what it says and do a food log. It's a very eye-opening experience to enter in all the food and water that you drink and eat during a day. And if you do that for a week, to look at the numbers. Look how much protein, calories, fats that you're consuming. I think a lot of us will be really surprised. I know when I do this exercise, when I am watching what I eat and entering it all in my phone, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But at work, if I see a big brownie, I'm less likely just to eat it because I'm not, especially if it's homemade, because I don't know how many calories are in that brownie. But I am a little bit more conscientious of what I eat. So anyhow, that's really, it's really that simple. And I just wanted to just go over that. And really the type of exercise you do, it really doesn't matter. And remember, exercising will probably make you more hungry. Okay, so I think really the bottom line is there are going to be times in your day where you're going to be a little bit hungry. I mean, we can't constantly eat all day long unless you're super, super active. And so we're just going to have to be careful not to consume more calories than we burn. And another thing is these diets. I see this over and over at work with the nurses that I work with. They go on these special diets, and every once in a while they do lose quite a bit of weight. Then they go back to normal eating and they gain all the weight back. This needs to be a lifestyle change. So I really discourage any kind of diets. I think you should just try to eat the foods that you like and try to eat them in moderation. Try to look at the DGA and try to put some lots of fruits and vegetables in there. Or I know people who are thin who hate fruits and vegetables, okay? They just don't overeat on the other stuff. They eat hamburgers and french fries, but they don't overeat, okay? And so therefore they are not gaining weight. Their weight is stable. So it's really more how much you eat, the calories you eat, than what you eat. Okay, and a lot of people freak out when I say that. Yes, I do encourage good quality eating, but a lot of us, the nutritional value of a McDonald's cheeseburger is incredible. I remember there was some UN study about what kind of food could we use to help the world's poor. And I'm paraphrasing this quite a bit, but it was the McDouble, like the McDonald's McDouble. Number one, we can produce that thing. We can produce millions of those things a day in the private sector, and those things are nutritious. Meat is like at the top of the food chain. I mean, you got these cows; they're eating grass all day. They make all this meat. We slaughter the cows. We eat their meat. We get all that nutrition. Meat has an incredible amount of vitamins and nutrition in it, calories and protein, fats that we really need to survive. Meat is really wonderful. I'm so glad I'm not a vegetarian. I love meat. So anyhow, I know this is just a lot of disorganized thought, but I hope that is helpful for you in realizing how simple this is. You can leave any comments on the YouTube channel. If you have any questions concerning this, I'll try to answer those the best I can. This is the Philip Koerper Show. I'm Philip Koerper. This is copyright 2018. Have a great day. Thanks.